Hey guys, we're back at it again. This time I got a spoiler review for Superman. This is the first time I'm doing this. But I got two of my friends here. If you know Turn Up the Track Pod, go check that out. I'll have that in the link below. But so I have these guys here to talk about Superman with me. Yeah, so all right, guys, this is like I said, this is gonna be spoiler reviews. So if you haven't seen it yet, what are you doing, first of all?
Facts.
And secondly, we're about to have some fun. Hopefully we don't miss anything. Not gonna be a super long thing here, but decently long, I guess. But I do have, like I said, Turn Up the Track members. Again, I'll have the link in the description. I got
Yo,
Big Hoss, Danny Bennett. How's it
yo,
going?
how we doing? I'm good, chilling, living, vibing, and ready to talk some Superman.
CJ, how you doing?
Hey yo, all day CJ here, and I'm feeling great. I'm feeling super ready to talk about Superman. Let's do it.
Yep. We're probably not going to go in any kind of order. I'll just be honest. I'm going to just kind of bring up things that I stuck out to me. I'm sure Danny's got some things that he's been like debating,
I've been itching to say.
itching to talk about. CJ's got some things, I'm sure, but
Yep. Got to get off my
um,
chest here.
I just
Let's
want
go.
to. I just want to start. I mean, if you watch my other review, I think it's a fun movie, with a really great cast. If you want my just generic review, well, I wouldn't call it a generic review, non-spoiler review. I do have that up. I'll have that in the link also. Um, but yeah, I mean, I enjoyed the movie, didn't love it. Uh, I do want to ask you guys before we get to any spoilers. There's just something that stuck out. A lot of the reviews I was reading, like post me doing my review, a lot of people, and I don't know Danny's opinion on this movie, so I'm very interested to see, and maybe he can give it to us here in a second. But
I will.
um, and we never really got CJ's full like thoughts on it, but um, a lot of people that I saw that enjoyed the movie said that it. There's a couple of reviews I saw that like it made them feel like they wanted to be a better person because of the movie. That it really pushed them. Um, and like after reading that, I was like, "Fuck, why didn't I feel that way?" And looking back, like I do understand it, and I'm not hating on these people at all. I love when people can get that out of movies. That's what you go to movies for. And I get like some of the emotional stuff. The fact that Superman wants to save whoever, whenever he can. Like there's a scene where he fucking saves a cat, just to prove that he's just willing to save whoever. Oh no, I'm a cat. Fuck me.
A squirrel.
Squirrel. A squirrel. Danny gave me a look and then I was like, oh,
Squirrel,
I'm an idiot.
squirrel.
Squirrel.
You're not an
Um,
idiot. You're fine.
but yeah, so he saved a squirrel, and it just shows that no matter how much Lex Luthor got him down, he didn't give up hope, and that's the whole point of Superman. So I respect that, but I just wanted to get y'all's quick thoughts on like people that like it really moved them. Did it move you like that? I'm just curious.
For
Because you get
me,
screwed up.
just specifically talking about what Jamie just discussed, I didn't feel that way. I didn't feel that way. Maybe I wasn't reading too far into what was actually happening, like as far as like the saving the squirrel and that kind of stuff. Um, I definitely think there was moments where you certainly would feel that way, but the movie didn't draw that out of me. Like I didn't feel like oh my God, I got to be a better person just from watching the movie. I guess there certainly was moments
Would you
where I
say the
could.
humor took you out of it sometimes? Because that's would have been my problem. Like I love the humor in spots, but I also feel like you would get some emotional scenes and then it would turn around and you'd have a James Gunn joke and
Yes,
it does like take you out of that
Jamie, you
particular.
you just hit that right. You hit the nail right on the head with that. Honestly, that's kind of where I'm at with it. That's a great way to explain it. Yes, you had these really serious moments mixed in with these like super non-serious moments, and I felt like it did take away from the I shouldn't say the message, but it did take away from that effect of it where it's like, man, this is like real shit. Like a good example of that is, for me at least, one that comes right off the top to my mind. was towards the end when the war is happening and they're crossing those lines and the kid's standing there with the flag, and then
Yeah.
Green Lantern comes in and he makes that joke about you got the better. I forget exactly what he said, but you got the better version of the person that's going to save you, because the kid was hoping for Superman,
Yeah.
but obviously you get Green Lantern and he comes in and he said, "You got the better version, kid," or something like that,
Yeah,
something
I
like that.
remember.
And it's just little moments like that. Like you want to have those jokes, but also it does kind of take away from the effect and the seriousness of what's actually happening, because war is nothing to joke about. So um, it does it creates conflict in that subject. So for
Were
me
you moved
personally,
by this Superman more than others?
uh, no, because it didn't feel that serious at times.
Yeah, but
Like they,
Superman isn't supposed to be serious though.
I know, but Man of Steel was, and you felt terrible in
Yeah,
certain
but that
scenes, and you
like
felt like you really connected with those characters. And not that you don't in this new one, you definitely do. You love the characters. The characters are great. The actors are great, and I really truly appreciate the performances that we get from this movie. But it almost felt like on a deeper level in Man of Steel, like you were emotionally invested, and in this film you kind of were like, okay, well, like we know eventually good is gonna, you know, subsede evil here in this movie. So I'm not gonna stress too much about it because Superman's gonna win at the end of the day, and we're gonna be okay. Where in Man of Steel, you really felt like General Zod was just gonna kill everything, and there was no hope.
Well,
Uh,
I mean, it ends with Superman having to kill him. He has to make
yeah,
that choice. It's a
mm-hmm.
totally different movie.
It is. I hate to
Because
keep comparing.
because this movie, they set out to make Superman. Sorry, they set out to make Superman the definition of hope, the definition of I will do everything right in my
Okay,
power instead of doing anything bad.
that makes sense
Um,
then. With that context, that makes a little more sense because you definitely got that from him.
yeah, and I think that was James Gunn's vision. I think Danny would agree with that. Um, which I'm cool with. I will always be a Man of Steel lover.
Yeah,
Man of
same,
Steel is my GOAT Superman movie.
same.
But I do think if the vision is that you want Superman to represent hope, you want Superman to represent somebody that's never going to give up, never going to um, allow someone to be hurt as long as he can do something about it. Um, then I think they exceeded in that.
I have a question for both of you. Do you think Superman was actually down that bad in this movie? Because I felt like the way they portrayed it, it seemed like they could have made it worse for him. It felt like he was never actually down that bad, if that makes sense. If
See,
I don't even know if I'm explaining that correctly, but it felt like
I
he wasn't actually down that bad.
I disagree.
Yeah.
I think Superman gets his ass kicked a lot in this movie,
Okay.
and I think the point of him getting his ass kicked a lot was they wanted
He
to
didn't
sh
give up.
he's the younger Superman, so like he's he doesn't really know who he is yet. He's still trying to figure shit out. So they, in return, they they want to see him get his ass kicked because he's still trying to figure shit out, like on the fly. And like, I mean, when he's in the what do you call that?
That cube or the alternate dimension
The
or whatever it
alternate
is.
dimension or whatever, yeah. Or but there's an actual word for it in DC.
I forget what it was.
Oh my, what do they call it in DC?
The Pocket Universe?
So
Pocket
they
universe.
call
That's
it a
what it
pocket
is.
universe. In the shows for DC, it was called something else, but I'm like blanking hard right now. But
Jesus
um,
Christ.
anyways, I thought I mean he had kryptonite on. I thought he was pretty down. I mean he
I just
and
never
he
felt
also
like he. I never felt like he was like gonna be done for. Like it's I don't know. Maybe that was the point of it. Maybe that was the point of it. I didn't mean to interrupt you there. Sorry, man.
Oh, you're good. Yeah, I don't know. I guess it's debatable. But anyways, getting off of that, something that me and CJ, this is like a smaller thing, but it definitely stuck out to us. So his parents are in this movie, and his dad is still alive, which I don't entirely understand. I could be wrong on the comics. Maybe there are versions where his dad is still alive. But I thought I always understood that because in Smallville and also Man of Steel, his dad obviously dies, and that's how he kind of becomes who he is. I mean, Smallville, not necessarily, but he does become a better man after his dad dies. But um, in this, his dad's still alive. I also thought
Interesting.
the characters were a bit goofy at times, and it was
Thousand
kind of
percent.
took me out. I liked the guy that played Paul Kent, right?
Yeah, I think that's right.
Yeah. I like that actor, but like I just feel like there's too much goofiness going on. Like it just wasn't the same. Like I don't need it to be serious all the time. And a lot of my issues with this movie is tone, but I just thought the parents were just not portrayed the best in this movie, which kind of sucks. And not that we needed a lot from the parents, but I always felt like his dad was such an important cog in the machine when it came to Superman, but I didn't know what y'all thought about that. I know what CJ thought, but obviously
Annie,
speaking
what'd
for
you
you.
think about it, bro?
So this might be like the craziest take ever, but in my opinion, I feel like I personally have to differentiate Man of Steel and this movie from each other.
I agree.
Um, I know they're both Superman movies, but they're both so starkly different. I think it's unfair to pit them against each other, personally, because this one is so light and bright, and Man of Steel is kind of
Very
dark,
bright, which
you
is
know?
Yeah.
like Superman, which I get.
Yeah,
It reminds you of like the original Superman movies.
yeah. Um, I don't know. I think that like I like both of the movies for different reasons, and I don't like both of the movies for different reasons. So like with Man of Steel, I like that movie because I like the way that Henry Cavill portrays Superman a lot. I think he does a really good job. Is he the best Superman ever? I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I really like David Corenswet. I think he did a really good job of playing like the Christopher Reeves style Superman that's more like what's the word I'm looking for? Just like more like not I don't say hopeful because that sounds bad because I think
Well,
that
that was the
Henry
gun
Cavill's is
vision.
too, but yeah, like he just fits that mold really well. Whereas I think like Henry Cavill fits the more dark, kind of not mysterious Superman, but like he just fits that like Zack Snyder verse
Yeah,
Yeah,
Superman.
for sure.
that's fair.
So, and part of me feels like it's unfair to compare them because they're so different. They really
Yeah.
are so different, you know? I don't
No,
know if
I'm
that's a
with
crazy
you.
take, but I
But
mean, I think
what's your
they're, yeah.
thoughts on the parents though?
The parents, I mean, part of me feels the same way you guys do. Like, I think it's crazy that that's changed, but at the same time, like, I don't know, I wonder if, like, maybe he'll do something where he has to experience it as a Superman that's older, and, like,
Yeah.
maybe they make him, like, instead of, like, his dad protecting him, like, he is the one person his dad couldn't save. You know what I mean? Does that sound crazy?
No, I see it. I mean, the only thing is I feel like his dad's
So,
super old, but
I do
Yeah.
too. So, and I do think the parents were kind of quirky and really Southern, very
They were
different.
goofy.
yeah.
They
Was
were
not
fucking
expecting that, but yeah.
I was really surprised
Clark!
because yeah, like
Clark!
I told Jamie this. I'm so used to like seeing his parents and not even just from Man of Steel, but just across, whatever Smallville or whatever else, whatever other Superman movies you watch or shows. Um, the parents are like strong and like, you know, they don't feel silly. And as soon as they jumped on the screen, I think they were on the phone with them. Clark. Yeah, like just like you were saying, like Clark. Like I was just like, what is
Yeah.
this? Just
Totally different
feels.
It was
actors
different.
too. You had like
It
what
caught me. Yeah, it caught
Diane
me by
Lane
surprise.
and Kevin Costner in
Yeah.
Man of Steel.
Yeah. Wow. Totally
Again, just
different.
to show how it's so like these movies are so starkly different.
Yeah, yeah, and
Yes,
I
a
agree.
hundred
I
percent.
definitely don't want to keep comparing the two at all. I think this movie is much more like those original Superman movies, like Danny said.
Hmm.
And I think this is just the Gunn vision. This is what he sees Superman as, and I dig it. I
I
totally get
agree.
it. This is not my favorite version. I as a guy with a horror background, as I mentioned in the previous review, I prefer something that's darker. So when he snaps his neck, snaps Zod's neck in Man of Steel, I thought that was fucking awesome. But for what they're going for in this movie, it would make absolutely no sense. He's trying to make sure that he can save everybody while also doing the right thing. That's why you have the scene with the big monster thing. He's
Hmm.
trying to save the monster from getting killed, but his superhero friends, Green Lantern, Hawkgirl, Mr. Terrific, they're like, dude, we gotta take this thing out. It's a monster. And Superman's still seeing the good in it. Um,
Yeah,
which
it's a good
I,
way
I
to put it.
I definitely
Yeah.
appreciated that. Like if that's what you're going for, I'm totally cool with it. Um, but I do have some tone issues, and a lot of it's just the James Gunn effect, which is good and bad. James Gunn at his best is Guardians of the Galaxy 1 and 3.
Mhm. You like the second
Perfect.
one?
I do not, but I'm kind of notorious for that. I think there's way too much humor in the second one. And that's the movie they made Drax a joke. Uh, the first two have so much emotion, but the jokes never really take you out. They add to it. Where I felt in this movie, and I don't know if y'all agree, I felt like the jokes sometimes take you out. As great as some of them are, because I think we can all agree Green Lantern's freaking hilarious.
Hmm.
And Mr. Terrific has some great one-liners, but there's just some corny jokes that I was like, okay, I see a gun, but I don't know if it's necessary.
For me, for that, like watching the comics and like the Superman animated show and like that style, I feel like Guy Gardner, like the Green Lantern, he like that's who he is as his character. So I feel like that's why, like for me, like it works. But I can see is where like I don't know if you guys have watched like that show and like those shows and stuff, but um so like for people who haven't or like are not as like haven't watched it as much, like I can totally see why that would be annoying and take you out of
Yeah.
it. Like I yeah,
Well,
I
it's
get
not
it.
the thing is not the Green Lantern stuff that took me out of it. I thought he was awesome. I thought every line he had was pretty much hilarious. A lot of times it was like the other characters where I just was like,
Well,
even
Hawkgirl
Super.
was just kind of in there for no reason, I
Yeah,
feel like,
they
but
didn't give her much to do.
No,
Like
yeah, I
it's
agree.
like Mr. Terrific was awesome. He has like I don't know if y'all agree the scene where he gets to the portal and he has to fight all those guards or whatever.
His
That
with
Yondu
is
the
scene.
dome over Rachel, yeah,
yeah, it is
well,
very much Guardians of the Galaxy type feel to it.
Yeah.
I was like, that's freaking like they made Mr. Terrific in that scene. Like he that was an awesome scene.
and
Um,
the music too, like he's so
yeah.
perfect for like
Yeah.
molding the music with like what he's like searching for. It's cool.
For me, it's more of like the other characters. Like, I was not a huge fan of Crypto, gonna be honest. I thought it was funny at first, and it got really not funny quickly. Uh, I love animals. This is not an animal thing by any means.
Hater. No, I'm just kidding.
I just don't think it's that funny. Constantly having the dog F with people. I it was funny at first, and then it just kind of ran its course. To me, there was too much Crypto. I get he's a part of the Superman universe, but he's a non-talking character. That's kind of tough for me. Maybe that's a personal preference. I don't know what y'all thought of Crypto, but
I
PJ.
think I think I definitely liked that they had him in the film. I liked the things that he did. However, I do kind of agree with you. It was kind of overkill. I think that if they scaled back on it a little bit and maybe had him, you know, beginning and then he disappeared for a while and then maybe came back and like had this grand moment at the ending where he saved everyone or did something
Well,
super big.
he kind of does do that. I mean, he did disappear into the
Yeah,
whatchamacallit for a little bit for the
but
portal, and he does kind of help save Superman at the end.
true. Yeah, but I mean, like sprinkled in throughout that, you have him. He's constantly like you're saying, he's constantly fucking with somebody or doing
Yeah,
something, and it's always like crypto. Like he's got to call him, and he's doing the whistle, and I don't hate that, but I agree with you. Maybe it is a little bit overkill. I thought it was cool that they included him though. So I,
true.
I thought he was a cool character. Obviously, he doesn't talk. Obviously, he doesn't do a whole lot, but be a little reckless and then end up saving people in the end. And at the end of the day, I think that's kind of them calling to those animal lovers, which I know you are. So that's why I know you're not like hating on the dog because like you're an animal guy for
No,
sure.
I definitely don't
So
mind Crypto being in it. I just could
yeah,
have done a little less
yeah, I
um,
agree. I can agree with
Crypto
that. I did
personally.
enjoy him. I enjoyed the fact that they had him in the film and they had him do some big things.
I will say I am probably in the minority. A lot of reviews I was seeing, people definitely loved Crypto, so I
Yeah,
will definitely, if I'm taking an L on it, it is what it is.
I will say Crypto I thought was I kind of agree with Jamie in some parts, but in other parts I think it was fun. Funny. Like the whole end scene with Lex to see like as Superman's going off and then Crypto just comes in and like
destroys him.
Yeah,
just I don't know, it's just that's funny. But yeah, I will say I'm gonna rate the movie real quick before I hop off out here. Is
yeah,
that okay
yeah,
for you guys?
yep.
I would give it a solid A minus for me personally on my
Wow,
scale.
definitely higher than
Um,
me.
so just because I want to see it again because I think I need to retake it all in.
That's fair.
Um, but I like it because I don't know, it feels like a good start to like a new universe for Superman after we're away
Agreed.
from like the kind of old
Yeah.
DCEU. So I'm excited to see where they go. And I think they're gonna have Batman. Like I got a theory that Robert Pattinson is gonna be the Batman of this universe. I know they said he's not,
He's sick.
but I think they could be hiding something up their sleeve personally.
Hmm.
Personally. I don't know. But I do think that they fit though, because they are very reverse of each other, which is what Batman and Superman is supposed to be, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
So
true. Well, thanks, Danny. He gave his grade there.
Yes,
I'm
he
just
did.
trying to think if there's anything. Is there anything else that you can think of?
Well, there was a few characters that I feel like I don't hear get mentioned a lot that I just want to shout out. Um, I really like the engineer. Thought she was a cool ass character. I don't think a lot of people are talking about her. She crushed in her role. I mean, she was on the forefront, especially in the beginning. Like that's one of the second or third characters that you even see, minus the robots. So she was a cool character. She did a lot. Um, who else? Who was the main villain in the beginning? What was his name again?
Oh, well, it ended up being like the clone of Superman.
Oh yes, yes. What was? Yeah, that's actually a good point. Sorry, another guy that I got to shout out just because the fatherly ties. I got to shout out Metamorpho. He ended up being a semi-polarizing character. Obviously, he's the one with the kryptonite in the cage with Superman,
Yeah.
and he's got his
Shout out to
son.
Anthony Kerrigan.
Yes, shout out to Anthony Kerrigan. He's got his son, and Superman promises him that he can save him, and obviously he stops doing kryptonite, and the son is saved, and then we have this whole kind of crazy chase through the pocket universe, which I thought was amazing. So I thought he was a cool character, and I like that at the end of the movie he kind of was included. I think that's a character that they'll probably end up keeping in this story and universe. So
Well,
yeah, I liked him a lot.
I mean, yeah, it was like I agree. There's a lot of characters. Like I've mentioned in another review, Mr. Terrific has some of the best scene stealing of the
Yes.
movie.
I was saving these guys for you, so you take it away,
Yeah.
brother.
I mean, you did have a cameo in there of Sean Gunn, James Gunn's brother. He played
Maxwell
Maxwell
Lord.
Lord. Yeah.
Yeah, Maxwell Lord.
When Maxwell Lord popped up, I thought that was super dope. I didn't recognize his brother at first, and then when I went back, I was like, oh shit, that was his brother. Um, Grillo plays Rick Flag. He's kind of forgettable, but does the job. Um,
Who's Rick Flag?
Rick Flag. So I don't know if that's the Rick Flag like the Rick Flag from the Suicide Squad. Rick Flag, like played by Joe Kinnaman.
Oh,
Kinnaman.
okay.
I don't know if that's him or not.
Did you like the little Cena cameo?
Yeah, I know that was very well done.
That's hilarious.
That's exactly how you should use Peacemaker. Honestly, he should be in every DC movie. You can throw a little scene here and there.
Yeah, he's a good character.
That no, that was perfect stuff. Did you like the? So this is where things kind of got goofy for me, but I guess it might be actually a comic book thing. I don't know, and I will say, people that are watching, we're not like heavy comic book nerds. We love superhero films, but we don't know. So if we mess up or don't know something, just no, it's not on purpose. It's just we
No,
just
definitely not.
don't have an idea. But were you a fan of the monkey stuff? Like the monkeys sending out tweets about Superman working like there's just some
Oh,
goofiness to this
was that
movie.
in the that was in the Pocket Universe?
Yeah.
Maybe that's more of a I don't necessarily think that's even like a comic thing. I think that's just maybe that's supposed to be like a representation of like bots in the modern day era.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't
you
know.
might be right.
It's kind of weird. Now that you bring that up, I never even thought about it, but when you say that, it kind of reminds me of like an example of like what a bot would be for nowadays for like Twitter or like X or like, you know, stuff like that. So for social media, just to get a message out there, even if it's factual or fake.
It is weird they had Eve Tessmacher in this movie, who's notoriously usually the assistant or girlfriend of Lex Luthor. And it's weird I don't also this might be a comic book thing, but it's weird that they had her as kind of wanting to be with Jimmy Olsen. I
Jimmy
don't
Olsen.
I don't know if that's a thing or not. I mean, 'cause I thought she was like kind of evil in the comics. So that's interesting. I will say the guy that played Jimmy Olsen, I thought did a pretty good job. I don't ever
It was
remember.
funny, yeah.
I don't. Jimmy Olsen ever been like a sex magnet? Because that's like what he's portrayed as in this movie. I mean, I guess in the
Apparently
TV
he's
show, Jimmy Olsen's in the Supergirl TV series, and he's kind of, I guess, kind of like that. But I always thought in like the older stuff, he never was like that. But I thought the actor did a really good job.
it was cool. It was a cool twist because like you did not expect that, and then it happens, and he actually doesn't care. He just wants the information.
Yeah.
I thought that was the funniest part. Is like he's just like, yeah, I guess, and
Yeah, that was actually a joke I thought actually worked every time they brought it back. I thought it
yeah,
was at least entertaining. I wasn't like thrown off by it. I also do want to quickly say, I mean, I already talked about Rachel Brosnahan, however you pronounce her name. I mentioned her in the other review. I thought she was really good as Lois Lane. And as I said in the previous review, like I just feel like DC's never really effed up on Lois Lane's outside of Kate Bosworth. And I feel like this movie is no different. Like the scene where they're talking about um, Superman and like how he invaded the one country that I'm blanking on, but how he like not invaded it, he stopped it from being invaded. I'm sorry. And they're having a whole conversation about that if he should or shouldn't have done it.
hmm
I mentioned in the previous review that I didn't love some of the political stuff. I did love that conversation. Mostly, I loved that conversation because I like the relationship that they had, and like
hmm
it escalated more and more, and um it improved more and more as the movie went along, and like I actually believe them chemistry wise and like as a couple. I thought that that was like one of the better scenes of the movie, just because the dialogue's very good. And I just believed in that moment that this would absolutely be a fight, because that's just Lois Lane.
yeah.
She's gonna push you, and she
hmm
believes in certain things. Like, I thought that was like a real cool moment in the movie, and I was like, I think originally I didn't love it, but then I think about back on it, and I'm like, that is a really good scene.
It's an honest depiction too of like
Yeah,
what a relationship that's like dealing with that intense of a stressor
yeah.
could go through, you know?
Yeah, no, I that'd be like if a TMZ reporter was like married to some famous person, like um maybe that's a weird one to put out there, but it's something like the dynamic would always be kind of weird. Like Lois Lane before Superman was a dope ass reporter. I mean, she still is, but she went after fucking stories. And she almost has to change her whole shit around because her whole stuff around just because of Superman, which is interesting. Um, so yeah, I really really like that scene. The only other one I want to lastly talk about is the Supergirl
Oh yeah, that's a good
cameo
one.
at the end. I am super excited for Millie Alcock as Supergirl. I think she's gonna kill it. I like that she kind of has a wild side to her, bit of a different character than Superman, which is the way it should be. Um, and I'm just super excited to see what they do. I mean, she's only in it for like a second, but I feel like they nailed it. She was kind of very goofy, but she was also very wild, and she's not like Superman at all. Since you've had time to think about it, what'd you think of her appearance?
Yeah, it was cool. I was waiting on it, right? Because we were waiting on Supergirl. And then she kind of storms in. She's hungover or still a little drunk. She's stumbling in the door. She's calling for crypto. And I thought it was a cool way to introduce her because I didn't realize, and I didn't actually know that she was supposed to be sort of a mess. So it was
I,
cool
I
to
don't.
get that.
I don't know if that's necessarily canon for sure, but in the TV series, while she has certain qualities that are definitely like Superman, she does have some underlying stuff. I feel like they're going even more the underlying stuff, which I really like. I just can't have the same character twice. You got to have a character that's a bit more wild. Cool. In
Yeah.
Smallville, Supergirl is more wild.
She seems wild. What did he say? He said she parties on that planet
Yeah,
because you can't get drunk on this planet
you
or
can't get
something like
drunk on.
that.
Or you,
Yeah.
well, yeah, she can't get drunk on this planet. Yeah, that was a good
And
line.
that's that's
It
that
described
just
everything.
yeah, that gives you everything you need to know. You know, I mean, that's to me that's sick.
Lastly, if you just want to, because nobody knows, give your grade and just an overview.
For me, I'll probably grade it at a B plus. I enjoyed the film a lot. I thought there was some really positive moments, some excellent acting as far as like the character roles that they played. I liked Superman. I didn't think that he was necessarily like the see this is the crazy part about it is because I think I kind of feel the same way that you feel about it, that there was a couple characters that might have outshined him in the movie.
Yeah.
Um, but he still was a really good Superman. But obviously, Mr. Terrific, Green Lantern was amazing in the moments that he was in it. Lois had her moments, uh, and even Lex Luthor, the guy that played Lex Luthor, he did a great Lex Luthor. So, oh, did I say Mr. Terrific? I think I did say Mr. Terrific. But anyways, all those characters crushed it. The movie was really enjoyable. It was fun. I think that's what they were going for with this movie is you had these moments that were super dramatic, but you also had tied in some fun moments that really made it light and hopeful. And I think that was kind of what the message was going into the movie, just bringing back the hope and that Superman was going to do the right thing and save everyone that he can, no matter what. And that's something that's a quality about the movie that I really liked. Um, Downfalls of it, I wasn't crazy about the woke stuff. We kind of received a message from a friend before going to watch the movie that maybe there was some stuff in it that was sort of political, and it definitely stood out throughout the movie. There were some moments for me, and I know there were some moments from Jamie. I'll let him call those moments out, but there were some moments that felt a little maybe too close to reality. I don't know. Maybe that's what they wanted,
Like the scene
but
where they find out about his parents is the one that I like the whole public. I was not a huge fan of that
yeah,
scene.
they really inserted the whole cancel culture into this movie, and I think that for
It
some
was hit or
people,
miss.
yeah, for some people they might like that because it's super realistic, but for me, that's one of my least favorite things that we have in the society. So the fact that they inserted it into a movie, it I did not like that. Um, but other than that, there wasn't a lot of downfalls for me. I think it was fun. I think the roles were perfectly placed. The actors did their things, and I enjoyed it. Yes, could there have been some more dramatic moments that felt like maybe Superman wasn't gonna make it out? Because at the end of the day, I never felt like Superman was down and he was never coming back. I felt like the whole time, like, good's always going to proceed here and they're going to supersede any of the bad. But maybe that's the way it's supposed to feel because it's a superhero movie. And at the end of the day, that's usually what happens. So uh, B plus is where I landed and I enjoyed it. It was a fun theater experience. I haven't been to the theater to see a superhero movie in a long, long time. I think my last one might have been Justice League, which was not great.
Not great.
Not great because it wasn't the version that me and Jamie were discussing the other night. But yeah,
Yeah.
B plus, solid flick. I had a good time with it, and I know my friends did too.
Yeah, I mean, my thoughts haven't changed a ton since my prior review. But I thought it would be a good, fun talk about some spoilers, which we did, obviously. And my grade hasn't changed. I believe it's a B in the prior review, and that's definitely what I'm sticking with. There's a lot of fun to be had, great characters, but it has its tone issues, humor issues, and then some of the political stuff is a bit much at times, but all in all, a fun movie. Definitely go out and check out. As always, guys, we got stuff coming out. I know what you did last summer. Fantastic Four, among many other reviews. And as always, guys, I will see y'all next time.